This is Wasteland Fatigue Weekly, brought to you by Fatigue Force. All right, Wasteland Warriors, get ready for your Wasteland Fatigue Weekly fix.
We're back
This week we're
with another deep dive.
diving deep into the DayR community forums to bring you the juiciest gossip,
Oh, yeah.
wildest theories, and some seriously helpful tips.
We've got tales of post-apocalyptic success,
Ah.
confusing patch notes, and maybe even a Cuban cigar conspiracy or two.
So grab your trusty gas masks and get ready for a wild ride.
Let's go.
Let's kick things off with a question that's been plaguing players
Great.
who've reached the peak of Wasteland glory.
Okay.
What happens after you've conquered the main storyline and hit level 75? We're talking endgame blues, folks.
Player Tracker hit us up with this very dilemma after wrapping up the Way Back Home quest line.
Oh, interesting.
It seems the devs have left the endgame wide open.
Really?
No clear main quest to guide your path.
So like you've reached the top of the mountain and now you're just standing there
Exactly.
wondering, okay, what now?
Yeah. And the community has some interesting ideas about what to do with all that newfound freedom.
Like what?
Player in Charname summed it up perfectly. The survivor is gonna find his place in the new world, which I assume for most players means becoming an ultra-rich warlord.
Sounds about right.
So what's your endgame going to be?
Building a sprawling, self-sustaining settlement.
Becoming a legendary trader with pockets full of caps.
Hunting down every last mutant in the wasteland.
Let us know your post-apocalyptic ambitions in the comments.
Ooh, yeah, good idea.
We might even award the most creative endgame plan with a virtual high five.
Awesome.
And a shout out in the next episode.
Speaking of confusion, let's talk about those pesky patch notes
Oh, here we go.
and the interesting interpretations they've sparked.
Always good for a laugh.
This week, it's all about the items found versus search success debate.
Uh-oh, this sounds familiar.
Apparently, some folks out there thought a plus 100% bonus to items found meant they'd be swimming in loot,
Oh, no.
finding twice as many valuables in every nook and cranny.
I can see how that would be confusing.
Player Carrier 9121 was among those who got caught in this misconception.
Yeah, I've definitely made that mistake before, too.
I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah,
It does sound a bit misleading,
right.
but it turns out this bonus just guarantees you'll find all the valuables in a location, not twice the amount.
You're not suddenly going to find 2 sets of gold indentures in that abandoned dentist's office.
Ugh, gross.
Even seasoned Wasteland veterans like Morale Piano Chicken admitted to being initially confused by the wording.
Wow, really?
Goes to show even the most experienced survivors need a refresher on game mechanics every now and then.
Now let's talk about a weapon that's been causing quite a stir in the community.
Okay, what is it?
The Polar Axe.
The what?
This beastly weapon has everyone talking, and for good reason.
I'm intrigued.
It has absolutely no durability loss.
No durability loss. Seriously.
You heard that right.
Wow.
This thing can cleave through hordes of mutants without ever needing a trip to the repair bay.
That's amazing.
Talk about a survivor's dream.
But there's got to be a catch, right?
But here's the catch.
I knew it.
It can only be used in combat and requires joy as ammo.
Joy.
You know, that
Yes.
rare and precious resource you could only stock up on during the New Year Christmas events.
Ah, I see.
So while the Polar Axe is undoubtedly powerful,
For sure.
it's definitely a niche weapon
Right.
for those endgame players who've managed to hoard a healthy supply of joy.
Makes sense.
Big thanks to Biome Sheep for setting the record straight on this one
Always appreciate a good clarification.
and putting player M. Jakri's curiosity to rest.
Glad we could help.
New to DayR and feeling the grind.
Oh, yeah. The grind is real.
You're not alone.
Especially for new players.
The recent update has made things a bit tougher,
Uh-huh.
especially for those just starting their Wasteland journey.
Player Turbo1 pointed out that even crafting basic weapons now requires a higher level workbench.
Oh, wow, that's rough.
And that old trick of farming animal hides for quick cash.
Don't tell me.
Oh, come on.
The devs have definitely upped the ante.
So what are new players supposed to do?
But don't despair Wasteland newbies.
Any advice?
Biome Sheep offered some wise words for those struggling in the early game.
Let's hear it.
They say Rome isn't built in a day.
True.
It's all about prioritizing your needs,
Okay.
scavenging smart,
Ah,
and being patient.
got it.
Remember, even the most seasoned Wasteland veterans started out with nothing but a rusty knife and a dream.
Speaking of dreams,
What about them?
the EMBA event has everyone buzzing with anticipation.
Oh, the EMBA event.
Will we see a repeat of 2.0?
Or
or brand new 3.0.
Hmm.
The speculation is running wild.
People love to speculate.
And players are already bracing themselves for the inevitable grind.
Understandably.
Maximus Prime 22 perfectly captured the sentiment. Kind of hard to gather event coins. Ain't that the truth?
So true.
But hey, who doesn't love a good challenge?
Right.
And some shiny new loot.
We'll be keeping a close eye on the NBA situation, so stay tuned for updates.
Absolutely.
Need a helping hand
Or axe.
in the wasteland.
You
You might be tempted to hit that help button,
I've been there.
but don't expect a miraculous rescue every time.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Player Nightbathe 1 shared their experience with the help button,
Yeah.
and it seems like it's a bit of a gamble.
A gamble? How so?
You never know who's going to show up or if they'll even be equipped to help.
Yikes, that doesn't sound very helpful.
So what's the solution?
Well,
Good old-fashioned networking.
there you go.
Hit up the in-game chat
Find someone near your location.
and maybe offer a little something in return for their assistance.
Exactly. Teamwork makes the dream work.
After all.
Even in the apocalypse.
Now let's dive into a topic that's shrouded in mystery and speculation.
Oh, I love a good mystery.
The Cuban cigar conundrum.
The what?
These luxurious smokes used to be hot commodities in the day-art trading world.
Cuban cigars, really?
But things have taken a turn for the, let's just say, interesting.
Interesting. How so?
Word on the wasteland streets is that the origin of most Cuban cigars is now,
Don't tell me.
well, questionable.
Questionable.
Player Sheep dropped some hints about mafia contraband.
Mafia contraband. This is getting good.
While Night Zero Choop had to dance around the topic, carefully avoiding certain forbidden words.
Ooh, forbidden words. I'm even more intrigued now.
It's like a scene straight out of a post-apocalyptic spy thriller.
I'm hooked.
What really happened to the Cuban cigar market in Elefinar?
Yeah, what happened?
Did a shadowy black market emerge?
Maybe.
Did the original suppliers get wiped out by a rival gang?
That's possible.
Theories abound, folks.
So many possibilities.
Share your wildest guesses in the comments.
Oh yeah, let's hear those theories.
And maybe you'll win this week's coveted Cuban Cigar Conspiracy Award.
That's a good one.
Now for something a little lighter.
Okay, I'm ready.
Let's talk about the new event item that has everyone scratching their heads.
What is it?
The Kettlebell.
A kettlebell. In day R?
Or is it a dumbbell?
Wait, what?
Apparently there's been a bit of a translation mishap.
Oh, those are always fun.
You can find this intriguing item in,
Where?
wait for it,
Okay, I'm waiting.
school gyms.
School gyms.
Yes,
Yeah.
those havens of physical fitness
Right.
that now lie abandoned and filled with mutant rats.
Oh, of course.
But here's the kicker.
What's that?
It's not a weapon.
It's not.
It's a workout tool.
A workout tool? What do you do with it?
Use it to get swole
Swole.
and get a temporary bodybuilder buff.
A bodybuilder buff. Interesting.
But as you might have guessed,
Let me guess.
it's a one-time use.
Oh, come on.
Talk about a workout fail.
I guess even in the apocalypse, you can't escape the fleeting nature of gym gains. Welcome back, Wasteland survivors.
We're back for more.
It's time for part 2 of our Wasteland Fatigue Weekly deep dive.
Where we continue our exploration of the day-art communities.
Most pressing
Both.
pressing
Fun debate.
debates. Burning debates and hilarious observations.
If you missed part 1,
Be sure to check it out.
we covered everything.
From the mystery of the Cuban cigar market,
To the joys of mutant meat trading.
but buckle up, because we've got a whole new batch of wasteland wisdom to unpack,
Starting with,
starting with a question.
that's on every budget-conscious survivor's mind.
How can you hunt those high-aft animals without breaking the bank on spear repairs?
Yeah, those steel spears.
Steel spears are the go-to weapon for many hunters, but those repair costs can really add up,
Especially when you're going up against...
especially when you're going up against those behemoths with 2,000 to 3,000 HP.
5,000 currency for a single repair.
Ouch.
That's enough to make even the most seasoned hunter weep.
But fear not, wasteland warriors.
Is there a better way?
Player Masha Reaper has a strategy that might just save your precious caps.
Okay, I'm listening.
Stock up on a ton of steel spears,
Like how many?
like over 150,
Wow, that's a lot.
and use them to clear entire biomes. Then, when those spears start getting low on durability,
Switch it up.
Switch to a secondary weapon like an APS pistol,
APS pistol.
armor piercer, or Desert Eagle.
So basically use the spears as your primary damage dealers.
Exactly.
Then finish off the weakened enemies with a more durable firearm.
Precisely.
Oh.
It's all about maximizing your resources and minimizing those pesky repair costs.
Speaking of maximizing things,
What about it?
let's talk about polar armor.
Ah, polar armor.
It's the holy grail of DAR gear.
And for good reason.
This stuff can seriously boost your damage output.
Player M.Zekri saw a video where polar armor increased damage by a whopping 77%.
77%.
You heard that right.
That's insane.
But here's the secret behind this damage-boosting magic.
What's the secret?
The lower your health.
The lower your health.
The higher the damage boost you get from polar armor.
The more powerful you become.
It's the ultimate risk-reward scenario. Player Dimesheep confirmed
Concerned with.
that the damage bonus is directly tied to the percentage difference between your current health and your maximum health.
So if you're feeling brave,
or reckless,
you can push your health down to a sliver.
and achieve nearly a 99% damage boost.
Wow.
Just be prepared for the consequences.
Which are?
If you miscalculate and get one-shotted by a stray bandit.
Oof. That would be bad.
Okay, Wasteland Explorers.
Let's tackle a question.
That's been on everyone's mind.
How long does it take for a biome to refresh in Dave Around?
The general consensus seems to be 1 in-game month.
1 month.
So if you've cleared out all the loot in a particular area,
You gotta wait.
you'll need to wait a full month for those resources to respawn.
But I've heard some people say it's different.
But Dimesheep pointed out that some players have observed different refresh times.
Really?
It seems there might be more to this mechanic than meets the eye.
Interesting.
Perhaps there's a hidden factor that influences biome refresh rates?
Or maybe...
Or maybe it's just another one of DAR's many mysteries.
Speaking of mysteries,
What about them?
let's talk about those strange symbols
What symbols?
that have been popping up in the trade channel.
Oh, those.
Player Mar169 was completely baffled by these cryptic codes.
Yeah, they can be confusing.
But thankfully,
Marcher came to the rescue
with
a handy translation guide.
it's like deciphering ancient hieroglyphics.
So here's the breakdown.
Okay.
Steel
Steel. Okay.
and is either coins or copper.
Coins or copper, got it.
Mystery solved.
Phew.
I was starting to think we'd stumbled into some kind of secret wasteland currency exchange.
Okay.
Now let's talk about a shiny new item
Ooh, shiny.
that's caught everyone's eye.
What is it?
The 14K lantern.
14K lantern. Sounds fancy.
It does. Player M14 Killer discovered
Discovered what?
that this glowing beauty can only be used 20 times.
20 times.
That's it.
For a 14K lantern.
I know, right?
You'd think it would have a bit more staying power.
At least it's not a one-time use item.
That it could be quite costly to fix at the NPC.
The joys of weapon maintenance in the apocalypse.
Joe's Mechanics chimed in with a chilling reminder.
Wait till you see Balaz repair costs.
Okay, we get it.
Balaz repairs are expensive.
But seriously, folks,
If you're thinking about investing in a Balaz,
be prepared.
be prepared to shell out some serious cash for upkeep.
Let's wrap up this segment with a discussion that's sure to resonate with all the dedicated hunters out there.
Okay, what is it?
Is hunting as profitable as it used to be?
Josketer raised this very point.
Yeah.
And it seems the answer is not really.
Not really.
It seems those juicy rewards for taking down high-level beasts have been nerfed.
Why would they do that?
Which makes sense.
How so?
The devs are always tweaking the game balance to keep things interesting.
That's true.
But for players like Josketer,
We're used to.
who are used to hunting bears and racking up massive repair costs,
Right.
the current hunting system can be a bit frustrating.
I can see that.
It's a valid point.
It does seem like.
Sometimes it feels like the game is pushing us towards scavenging and trading,
Rather than...
rather than good old-fashioned hunting and gathering.
Speaking of gathering,
What about it?
Player M.Zekri had a very specific question.
Okay, let's hear it.
How long is a month in DAR? In real lifetime.
Moralipiana Chicken broke it down for us.
I'm all ears.
If you just leave the game idle,
Okay.
it takes a full month to reach a month in in-game time.
So basically real-time mirroring.
But if you're constantly crafting and engaging with the game,
Right.
it can take as little as 10 minutes to reach a month in-game.
So the more active you are.
The faster time flies.
Makes sense.
Hmm?
Welcome back to Wasteland Fatigue Weekly.
We're in the home stretch now.
We're in the final stretch of our deep dive into the weird, wonderful, and sometimes downright baffling world of DAR.
We've decoded patch notes.
Deciphered mysterious trade codes.
And explored the depths of the Cuban cigar conspiracy.
But we're not done yet.
Nope, we got more.
We've got more community insights, tips, and tales to share, so let's jump right back into the Wasteland fray.
Okay, let's go.
Remember that discussion?
About the help button?
About the help button?
Yeah.
And its, shall we say, unpredictable results?
Right, never know what you're gonna get.
Well, Zachary had another encounter that perfectly illustrates the gamble you take.
Oh boy.
When you hit that button.
What happened? Spill the tea.
What happened this time?
Let's just say the cavalry wasn't exactly what they were hoping for.
So it seems like relying solely on the help button might not be the best strategy.
Yeah. Better to be prepared to handle things yourself.
Right.
As Night Test 11 wisely advised, good old-fashioned networking is often the more reliable way to find assistance in the wasteland.
True. Hit of the in-game chat.
Find someone in your area and maybe sweeten the deal with a little barter.
There's nothing like a little wasteland camaraderie to get you through tough times.
There's sure.
Okay.
What's next?
Let's lighten the mood with a question that's been bugging players who are all about efficiency.
I like efficiency.
Player Cuban 2000 wanted to know.
What do they want to know?
If the amount of water you boil affects how much fuel it consumes.
Interesting question.
It's a valid question.
Yeah.
Does boiling a full pot of water use up more fuel than boiling just a cup?
I've always wondered that myself.
Well, wasteland scientists rejoice.
What's the answer?
The answer is no.
Really?
Dimeship confirmed that the amount of water you boil doesn't affect fuel consumption.
So it doesn't matter how much you boil.
Nope.
That's good to know.
So feel free to boil a whole cauldron if that's what your thirsty heart desires.
Go big or go home, right?
It won't cost you any extra fuel.
Awesome.
And that brings us to the end of
Your deep dive.
our Wasteland Fatigue Weekly Deep Dive.
We did it.
We've explored the highs and lows of the DAR community.
From endgame strategies
To Cuban cigar conspiracies.
and everything in between.
We've laughed, we've learned, and we've maybe even shed a tear or two over those Belly Z repair costs.
Oh yeah, those repair costs are no joke.
But most importantly, we've connected with fellow Wasteland survivors.
And shared our passion for this.
Unique and challenging. If you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button.
Then subscribe.
Subscribe to our channel for more DAR goodness.
And leave a comment.
Leave a comment with your thoughts,
Theories.
theories, and wasteland tales.
And don't forget
To check out our social media pages.
for a chance to win
This week's coveted
Most Creative Kettlebell Workout.
awards.
Until next time, Wasteland Warriors.
Stay safe, stay hydrated,
Good.
and keep those
Heel spears.
sharp.